Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 11:30. I cannot believe this is already the last day of November. So, hello, I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter, that's Durham's online community paper, which you can check out in its entirety at durhamskywriter.com. Now, with Bull City Hangout, I tell you what's happening today in Durham, and I invite you to click on that link on the Facebook side. Join me on camera, shoot the breeze, share information, or even promote your business. That would really be fun. Also, if you could share this out, that would be really appreciated because then more people here in Durham will know what's happening in the great Bull City. So let's get started with the word page, the government and nonprofit information page. There are programs and services. Just check them out at your convenience. Just go to the word page and check out the programs and services offered by nonprofits, the City of Durham, and Durham County. Now, speaking of the city, there are some board vacancies I want you to know about. You might want to join one of these committees if you're interested. A lot of people who want to get into politics start out by joining a committee like the ones I'm going to mention, just to get their feet wet, so to speak. But if you're really interested, I'll tell you about these. Now, you can click on the link that I provided so you can see what it entails in terms of the meetings, the time spent, the reports, the different things you'll have to read and act upon. So there are 5 openings, and the deadline for putting your application to be chosen is tomorrow, end of day, December 1st. So these openings are in the Durham Open Space and Trails Commission, the Durham Workers' Rights Commission, the Durham City and County Environmental Affairs Board, the Durham Open Space and Trails Commission, and also the Mayor's Hispanic and Latino Committee. So if you're interested in any of those, definitely. I just realized I said Open Space and Trails Commission twice. I had that twice. Goofy. Anyway, so there's 4 that you can choose from. So anyway, go to the word page, learn all about it, and then put in your application by end of day tomorrow. Okay, let's see. The Durham County Libraries are open until 8 this evening. Bragtown is open until 6. Now tomorrow, the 1st, all the libraries, all the Durham County libraries will be closed. Okay, so definitely don't head over that way tomorrow. Let's see what's on the docket in Durham Tech's Small Business Center, where you can take free classes online if you'd like to become an entrepreneur or if you're already one and want to improve. So let's see. On the docket today, there's a few classes. Let's see. Today's the 30th. There it is. Oh, here's a good one. From 6 until 8, federal grant opportunities for nonprofits. And here's another one. The second one is from 6 until 8:30, basic bookkeeping, something we should all learn. And there you go. The next class will be tomorrow at 6. I'll tell you about that on tomorrow's show. Let's go to the To Your Health page, where I have your COVID-19 test and vaccine updates, also where you can pick up the tests for COVID-19 that you can take at home, the rapid tests. You might want to start collecting them if you're going to have a crowd over for the holiday season. Let's see. Blood Connection has a blood drive, so let's scroll down to by the way, you can still get a free COVID test, the drive-in test at the Lakewood Shopping Center over there by the Scrap Exchange at 2000 Chapel Hill Road, and that is Tuesdays through Saturdays, 10 until 6. So they're still over there. Now back to the Blood Connection. Let's check them out. They're having a blood drive, not today, but tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, they will be at the Museum of Life and Science, 433 West Murray Avenue, and that will be tomorrow starting at 10. They'll be there from 10 until 3. Okay, now we're going to go to the SeniorScope page, see what's happening at the Durham Center for Senior Life. Oh, and if you're a senior, speaking of seniors, if you need to choose someone for your Medicare Part D, definitely check out senior pharmacists because they can help. Set an appointment. They're always super crunched for time because a lot of people sign up. You could also probably do something like this through your your medical provider. But if you can't, then definitely check out Senior Pharmacists. They're in the same building as the Durham Center for Senior Life. They're right there, second floor level. Their phone number is 688-4772. That's 919-688-4772. See if you can set an appointment. And they can check all of what they do, they help fund people who cannot get their medications at a price that they can afford. And they are also the ones who can look at all of your medications and make sure that they're sometimes different doctors, not knowing that someone has already diagnosed you with something and order a medication for you, they can see if they work together or not, the different medications. So you can bring them all in and they'll look at them and give you some advice. Also, they're the ones that you go to if you need to choose someone for your Medicare Part D in terms of your medications that you might be taking. So definitely check that out. And now let's go to the Durham Center for Senior Life events. Don't forget that on Friday, with it being the first Friday of the month, that means that you can get some free Ensure. They call it the Ensure handout. So on first Fridays from 10 until noon, you can stop by the Durham Center for Senior Life on Rigsby Avenue, and they give away Ensure, the nutrition drink. Thanks to Durham Congregations in Action for that. Also, preference is always given to those with a note from their doctor. So if you can do that, it's great. Otherwise, just stop by from 10 until noon and then pick up some free Ensure from the Durham Center for Senior Life. Okay, let's see. I think I have one more thing. Oh, tomorrow there's going to be a meeting of the Caregivers Support Group. They will be meeting tomorrow, starting at 12:30 in the DCSL classroom. That's for people who are caring for loved ones who have whatever, Alzheimer's or, whatever. All righty, let's now go to the Let's Go page. That is the calendar of events page. Let's see what's happening. My ear's itching, which I think that means money's coming my way. Or is it when your palm's itching? I think when your ear itches, somebody's going to visit. Which is true, because my sister's going to visit me in a couple of weeks. That's it. Okay. Let me see. Let me scroll down to 30. Today's the last day of the month. New Visions of Africa restaurant. They're giving away free meals from 3 until 6. If you are in need, definitely stop by. They're right there on Fayetteville Street next door to W.D. Hill. Kings Park International Church. They have their food pantry and clothing closet. This is every Wednesday, 5 until 6, where you can get free food and also free clothing if you just got a new job or you need to look nice for an interview, etc. Now, tonight's the big night, the 18th annual American Tobacco Tower lighting. That's going to be tonight. Now, they changed the time. It was 6 o'clock. They moved it up to 7. So it will be from 7 until 8. The official address is 318 Blackwell Street. See if you can park in the different parking garages in the area. Or why not take the bus? I mean, if you're able to, the buses are free. And then they all go straight downtown. The terminal is like right there. So anyway, it's up to you. But the festivities start at 7 o'clock. Should be lots of fun. Now, they're going to have performance. I'm just going to go ahead and, if you don't mind, I'm going to list all the performers. So there's going to be performances by the cast members of ELF, which is at the DPAC right now. That should be really fun. The Barreskill Dance Theater School, the Durham Children's Choir, Elena Holder, Empower Dance Studio, and the Walltown Children's Theater Group. Also, special appearances by Lisa Gaither with her 3D chalk creations. That should be fun. Frosty and Rudolph. Also, the Imagine Circus, Santa and Mrs. Claus. Awesome. And Woolly Bull. Woolly Bull's got to be there, of course. Now, afterwards, again, this is from 7 until 8. And of course, they'll have the stupendous lighting of the tower. Now, if you stay afterwards, they will be giving away like cocoa. Of course, you got to have the cocoa. Hot cocoa. They're going to have post-show music and art, entertainment also. And then you could also since everything's all lit up, right, you can take a selfie with the lit up tower in the background. So they're going to have a little station set up so that you can do that. Now, if you get there early, the first 2,000 people to arrive will be given light wands. And that's courtesy of Dominion Energy and NC811. Of course, this is all free, and it should be super, super fun. Take the kids. And again, if you if you can't drive there, or if it's just too much trouble, then hop on the bus. Now, if you really just can't make it, go ahead and watch it. WRAL will be showing it on TV, and also WRAL.com. If you just can't make it at all, then just watch it from home. It should still be great. Okay, let's see. Oh, Brett's open mic is tonight from 7 until 9. This is going to be at the Blue Note Grill. They play like funk, soul, R&B, smooth jazz. You can join them on stage. $5 admission. You can also watch on Facebook and maybe make a little donation. It's up to you. Now, tomorrow, there's going to be a couple of things happening. Elmo's Diner hosts their Veterans Breakfast on first Thursdays, which means all military veterans are invited. And the first-time attendees and also those in uniform get to eat for free. This is going to be tomorrow, 8:30 until 10, and you RSVP by texting breakfast and the number in your party to the phone number that I have listed right there on the Let's Go page. Now, like I said before, all the Durham County libraries are closed tomorrow. I think I had one more thing. Oh, right. The Religious Coalition for a Nonviolent Durham, usually on the fourth Thursday, they have these wonderful community luncheon roundtables where you listen to some nice, you get some great information from different nonprofits in the area. And also, it's a great meal. It's all free. And it's usually held at they have a new spot, the Elizabeth Street United Methodist Church, 1209 North Elizabeth Street in the Education Building's Fellowship Hall. Now, it's usually on the fourth Thursday, like I just said. But this, Christmas, right? So, and also Thanksgiving got in the way as well. So they will be holding their community luncheon roundtable. That's going to be tomorrow at noon, from noon until 1. Should be a really beautiful event. And I think that's it. All righty. Let's look at the weather. And Guy, our cook, is waiting in. Oh, wait a minute. We have a new friend. Whoa. I'm so used to Guy, our cook. Wait just a second. I'll bring on right after the weather. I am so used to seeing Guy, our cook there. We have a new fabulous guest. Bring you right on. Let me give you the weather real quick. It is 59. It's cloudy out there. It was getting really dark and kind of scary a few minutes ago. It's lighting up a little bit. So it's 59. It's going all the way up to 64. And I am definitely here for that. It looks like it's going to rain, but supposedly we've gotten all the rain under our belts already. It started raining and I heard it raining while I was asleep. So it was raining, early morning. So it's supposed to be clearing up. It's going to be partly sunny by 4. Of course, then sunset happens a few minutes after that. What can you do? Tomorrow, it's going to plummet all the way down to 49 as far as the high tomorrow. But I'm not complaining because it's going to be sunny out. Now, let's bring on our very special guest and see what's happening. Let's have a little fanfare here. Whoa, I didn't click. Boom.
Hey.
Ryan Perez. What?
How's it going?
It's you. Long time no see. Wait, what's this? What's with the new name? Digital Stem Cell? What's going on?
I rebranded myself as a digital stem cell. I've been, in the last year or so, I've been advocating for neurodiversity because I'm neurodivergent. I have dyslexia. Okay. I'm on the autism spectrum, and
awesome.
I have dyspraxia and all this other stuff. So this digital stem cell is just a rebranding, just to let people know, I'm unmasking, going on social media and just showing me for who I am. And, it's really hard for me to even brand myself like in in spaces, where because I do so much, like I do graphic design, web design, and then I have all these other talents. So digital stem cell is, a way to say, hey, when you hire me, like I can pretty much adapt to any scenario or situation. So,
Nice. Tell us where you live, because this is incredible. Go ahead.
I live in Calgary, Alberta. It's snowing outside.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know what? I was just saying how it's plummeting tomorrow to 49. I hate to ask what it is in Alberta.
Oh, it's snowing now. It always snows on the day of my birthday. And
is it your birthday today?
It's my birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday. Woo.
Yeah. So
and folks, the reason I'm so excited, I mean, I don't know when we met, but we met way back on, I think,
2016, yeah.
Yeah, 2016. So so I have these wonderful online friends, and Ryan is one of them. Yeah. So happy to see you on my show.
Oh yeah, well I keep on seeing it. I always mean to come on, but I always get the times mixed up because it's like it's 12 your time, and I always think it's 10 my time, so I hop on the wrong times. So
okay, because
we're 2 hours ahead. You're 2 hours ahead.
Oh, I thought it was 3. Okay. Oh, because you're okay. Alberta is more like in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the province to the west of you?
The west is Vancouver.
Okay.
Or not Vancouver. British Columbia.
Northwest British Columbia. Okay, I got you. I only went to Canada once, and it was just for a super short visit when I was a kid. And it was a high school or high school. No, wait, 8th grade. Well, anyway, I think it was high school. But anyway, we took a quick trip to Niagara Falls. And I remember noticing that the Canadian side was so much cleaner than the USA side. At least back then it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was exciting for a kid from Chicago seeing something so majestic as Niagara Falls and all that. That's the only time I've ever been to Canada.
Oh, wow. So, well, in this part of this, it's beautiful, and I take it, we take it for granted, being so close to the Rocky Mountains and stuff like that. But it's beautiful, and always clear skies, no smog, it's relatively clean, and,
Isn't Alberta the breadbasket of Canada or something like that?
Yes, but nobody would like nobody, but we're also, according to the rest of the world, and we are polluters because of the oil sands and stuff like that, which is not necessarily the truth. But
Oh, that's right. Because I think I don't follow sports anymore, but I do remember when a team from Alberta joined, I guess it was the hockey team or something. I think they were called the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Do they still exist?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't follow sports anymore. I mean, teams change cities all the time. I mean, I don't even know when people say the name of a team, very often I'll name the city that they used to be in. They move around so much.
Yeah. I don't pay attention. I mean, that's just the thing. I always grew up loving more, art and philosophy and, just, other things than sports. So I never really followed it.
Do you still do music?
I've been so busy. I haven't. People have been calling me to songwrite for them. I did put my album up on Spotify because, I've been.
Write that down. What?
Yeah.
Is it under your name, Ryan Perez, or do you have a?
It's called 𝗕𝗓𝗓. It's 𝗕𝗓𝗓. So it was just collections of written work that I put out there, because I'm a writer. I'm not a performer. I like to write music.
Oh, okay.
So I'll create some fiction and talk about certain things, and but I put it under a different name. I didn't want anyone to find it, just because I just want to put it up there, because what I do is I've gone, I don't know, from last time we spoke, I almost have like probably 200,000 followers now, collectively on social platforms. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we got
See?
we got I'm doing Dr. Sebi stuff on one channel. It's like close to
Mhm.
50,000 on TikTok, and on the other
Okay.
one, I'm talking about dyslexia and neurodiversity. So millions of
Awesome.
views, and so I put my music in those videos when they go viral,
Nice.
so that I can get you know, so I get paid.
I got you.
You
I
know what I
got
mean?
you.
And get some spins on them, but I don't really promote the music. But I am a writer, and I do
Mhm.
want to, in the next few years, just to start writing. But yeah.
You know, I actually recently bought some gear so that I could get back to music myself because I also write music, and I'm not a perform. Well, I'm a performer in that I play guitar, but I mean, I'm not like Prince, where I'm at a high level of performance where, my music is like, my demos are, I admittedly, a little cheesy, but the songs are good, I think. But I'm not a great performer at all. But I do enjoy making little demos. And I don't think they're good enough to share, as far as anybody wanting to hear them. But I just have a real ball making the demos and
Well, that's
listening,
beautiful.
because, yeah, I like happy
I
little
would love to
melodies.
hear it anyways. Like I think music is music, right? And it
I'll,
doesn't have.
I'll share it with you because
Yeah.
I wouldn't be embarrassed to share it with you. I just don't know if I would just put it out in the. Actually, one of my songs is on YouTube. One of them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have
And
to.
it's
How do
it's
I find
called
it?
what is it called? Sight Unseen.
Sight unseen.
And the reason it's called that is because I was given permission to take a track that someone had written and recorded that didn't have a melody. And I said,
Wow.
"Ooh, ooh!" I said, "Can I put a melody on top?" And he said, "Sure, go ahead." And he gave me the CD. So the musical track that you hear is not me because it really sounds good. But the little melody that's on top, that's mine. So I put it on
Oh, that's
YouTube.
that's beautiful. That's
So
beautiful.
oh no, I just said that out in public. Well, it's out there. It's
Yeah,
out there.
that's
So
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah,
Oh,
so
I'm.
my
Oh, go
goal
ahead.
is to really get back into music because I do love music, even if I don't play it well. I just love it so much. That's why I'm a DJ. You know. Oh no, someone as important as Yvonne Coleman says that. Oh, she's don't look. Oh Lord.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And Yvonne, are you still with American Tobacco? Because I just made a big fuss over tonight's very special lighting event. So yeah, and let me know if I got the time wrong. I think the time was changed from 6 until 7 tonight. But hello and welcome. Very happy to see you drop in. You can always drop by on camera like Ryan has done. I can accommodate up to 10 people on screen if you want to drop by today. But okay, so yes, indeed. So anyway, anything else happening, Ryan? And of course,
Oh, oh
you can
yeah.
always drop by whenever you want.
Yeah, I would love to drop by more, to hang out, especially when I'm working here. The only thing I would other than like Blab really changed my life.
Mm,
I had goals and things that I set out. A lot of them weren't successful, but they did
mm.
kind of lead me down. Now I'm a producer of a show called Antoinette and Friends, and
Write that down. Tell us about
and
that. What is that? Antoinette and
so
Friends.
Antoinette and Friends, and it's my first LLC, first company that I have in the States. But essentially we are a group of individuals that like I call my business partner a light worker. We do interviews. And we talk to celebrities. So celebrities like
Okay.
we just did Sharon Gless
Okay.
from Cagney and Lacey. We did
Oh wow. I know that's the blonde. There was a dark haired one and a blonde one. She's the blonde one.
She's the blonde one. Yeah,
Okay.
did Sharon Gless. We've done George Lopez. We've done uh, who else? Sinbad. We've
Oh,
also done what's the other? Renee Taylor from the Nanny.
oh, okay,
She's
okay,
Renee. She's Broadway and stuff like that. But
okay.
and it's executively produced by the one of the best legendary filmmakers of our time,
Hmm.
Norman Seeff. So he
Okay,
executively produces it. He comes in, he lights it, and he's the director or photographer. And
look at you.
it's
Okay.
like yeah. So I'm a producer, and I put it all together
So you're
from
really getting
Calgary.
your name out there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
because it from
excellent.
Blab stuff, like it was because people knew that I was doing live streaming and stuff, and
Mm,
someone was like, hey, I have a client who is a well known comedian and actress
mm.
and stuff like that. She want to and the rest is history. So we started. It's been my second year doing it now, but now we started a company called Parachute Media, and yeah, we're working with one of the top. We have even a very famous celebrity that's going to be on the show pretty soon, and it looks like a
Nice,
Barbara Walters interview. So a step
nice.
above from what I
That's
used to do.
huge. And of course, we keep saying Blab was for many of us the first live streaming app that became popular, and for many of us, that gave us our start in what we're doing now, live streaming. I do want to point out, Yvonne, thank you so much. I just shared actually Africa Unplugged on my Durham Skywriter Facebook page, but I haven't done the write up yet. So thank you for this. I will definitely add this. Africa Unplugged, 7 p.m. show is going to be on Friday at BU, which is downtown. 2 shows. Let's see, $25 if you're going to have a seat, $12 if you choose to stand. And I like that because a lot of times people want to go to something, they're like, dang it, I don't have that much money. But if you don't mind standing, you can get in for half price. I love that concept. So thank you so much. And feel free to drop in tomorrow or Friday to promote Africa Unplugged. That would be super awesome. I'm going to talk about it anyway, regardless. But feel free to add a little extra spice by coming in yourself. That would be super awesome. And thank you for that info. I love when people share info, right? I just get so excited.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
all about community news. In fact, we were just talking about a friend of mine and I over the phone. We were just talking about celebrities. Not to put down anything that you're doing, but I was just saying how as much as I enjoy entertainment, I tend to shy away from so-called big celebrities in favor of local celebrities. But for those that are getting, the big folks, absolutely. I think it's very exciting. I've been able to interview a few celebrities like on my radio show and on my little online show as well. So it's not something I dislike doing. I love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't have a community paper and then not have local celebrities. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
but what I'm learning about this show, and what I'm learning about just uh, what's happening to the internet and how technology
Hmm.
has changed all of our lives. Like these celebrities are
Hmm.
learning that community, because with Sharon Glass we did the show, and we reached we I went and handled her social media. I went into the social media and engaged all of her fans, and
Hmm.
you know
Yes.
uh and her community went boom. Like her
Boom.
community was just happy. And these are things that I learned
Nice.
from Blab, right? Just content
Hmm.
curation, getting people involved. And you realize a lot of these celebrities are just like us. They're just normal people that have a story to tell. And local
Hmm.
celebrities, even for the old Hustle Zone show that I had, like, local celebrities, and people, just the everyday people, everybody has a story to tell. And the story is what gives the interview value. You know what I mean?
Nice. And I'm glad you said that because I'm not going to mention any names, but a friend of mine also has a show. We used to. Oh, I won't give that info. I don't want to embarrass anyone. But a friend of mine also has a show, and both of us interviewed the same famous person. And it just so happened that this famous person had a parent who was also famous. And what happened was my friend interviewed her, and later we were talking about this person. He was complaining how rude she was, and I think he or she made the mistake of gushing over her parent, his or her parent. And I think if you're an artist and you come on a show, you want to promote what you're doing, and if your host is gushing over your parent, I think that makes you feel a little slighted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think he or she liked that approach. Now, when I interviewed the person, I said, let's get it out the way. We know your last name is famous. Your your parent is, is very famous. And so I acknowledged the parent without gushing. And then I left that behind and then concentrated solely on my guests. And I think that's probably a better approach in that they are, like you said, regular folks. They want to get their story out.
Everybody, and because you think when you're dealing with handlers and everybody has to, and the great thing about dealing with some of the celebrities that we've had on the show, like they've already had their, they've had their heyday. So now, they don't have all these handlers and people involved trying to construe a message. It's just people that just want to get their stories out because they don't know. They have the same insecurities that we do, and I just, what I was more happy about was that I was, what I was more happy about is that I was getting, getting stories that more people, like most people don't get a chance to hear, right? Most people hear the same old canned, stories from these celebrities, but going beyond and actually getting, the deeper information about how they go about their lives. Because what I realized is that through being autistic, I've always listened to people's stories because it helps inform me about how to live my life, right? So that's why it's just important. So even interviewing you and understanding, well, how did you do all this stuff? How did you get the radio show? How did you do all that stuff? I think it's beautiful. You can't put a price tag on people's stories because people's stories are just as unique as their fingerprint, and that's that scarcity, right? You can't put you can't put $1 billion on somebody's story, and everybody should, whether they're a celebrity or not. And the way that Blab changed us all is that now everyone can be their own celebrity because you're a celebrity, to us, we know, like people come on the show, we love your show, we love the stuff that you do. I always like to come in to support anytime that I get a chance.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know it's been a year, but still,
I've been a fan of yours for years, and I've seen all of your different iterations and seen your kept in touch with your progress. And I remember when you first had your first, I don't know if it was your very first, I think it was your first online website client. I remember you're unveiling that. It might not have been your very first client, but the first one that you promoted.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Oh,
I definitely remember that. I can't remember the person's name, but I definitely remember who it was. I won't mention names. There's no reason to bring out names. But yeah, so it's really good to get into this live streaming thing. It's a great way to, like you said, get stories out. People love stories.
Yeah.
People love stories. One time I was hired, I'm a DJ also, and I asked the person how they came across, how it so happened that they chose me to DJ for their event. And they said, I went to your website and I loved your story. I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it works.
Yeah.
People relate to people through their stories, like you said.
Yeah, 100%. We're just breaking down the fourth walls, and and everyone, TikTok and all these different platforms are just bringing more community to individuals. And we realize that the celebrity culture and all the stuff that happened in in the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, that was a period of time where you had someone broadcasting and communicating one way, one directional. That's what we thought was valuable, and that's what we strived for when we were young, and we watched all that stuff. But now what we are transitioning into is like we don't really care much. Like I have 3 TVs that I've been trying to sell through Facebook Marketplace, and people are laughing at me at the TVs. And like they're laughing in the groups and stuff like that because they're a little
Let
bit
me
old.
tell you what happened to me, Ryan. So I have one of those fat TVs, not a flat screen, but one of the fat ones.
Yeah.
And I took it to the what do you call it? The dump site. What do you call it? The Durham? Anyway, where you dump garbage. It just so happens that they also have an electronics site. So if you take your old electronics to the electronics site, then people can go there and purchase or whatever, or I don't know if you can get them for free. You used to be able to I think you used to be able to purchase like radios and stuff like that. So I gave him the TV thinking, this is going to be a big deal. He was like, I said, hey, that's a TV. And he said, look in that bin over there. So I walked over and looked in the bin. It was full of crushed TV. He says, nobody wants TVs. Certainly not these big fat ones from the 90s. He was just like,
nobody watches TV anymore,
No.
So it's like, I don't. I've been trying to get rid of these TVs. They're flat screened and all this stuff, and people are laughing. So I'm like, like that's the whole thing, is that celebrity culture was good for my generation, your generation. But it's no longer going to be a thing, because now we are the celebrities, because we just want a shining light that we can look towards and be inspired by. I also realize, like, people are fans of your work because they want to do what you do. But as soon as they do what you do, they're no longer a fan of your work, right? Like, it's like, that's what I see.
It depends. Surprisingly, I guess what I do is a very niche thing, in that I promote everything Durham. In fact, that's the city of Durham flag behind me. So I'm all about Durham. When sometimes people call me asking if I'm interested in a news item from Raleigh, and I'm like, no. If it has nothing to do with Durham, I'm not really that interested. If it's in Raleigh or Chapel Hill. Now, I'm not rude to them, because sometimes there is some kind of a connection. And if there is some kind of a connection to Durham, then yes, I'll be interested. But I'm all about Durham. So I have a very niche place. Most people who live stream want to reach as large an audience as possible. And I do too, admittedly. But still, I'm really about Durham. And I'm not really concerned with other cities. Not really. Personally, I am. But in terms of my brand and, the Durham Skywriter, my online newspaper, yeah, I'm not going to have Cary and Henderson and, all these different cities in the Durham Skywriter, unless there's a reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I think it's cool what you're doing, and you're consistent with it. And and your just the community. I even shared, even the other day, I shared your post. I shared the anytime it comes up on my feed, like I always see it, and I'm like, like that's what this is all about. Doing what you love to do, connecting with people, and showing love, because that's the legacy that you're going to leave behind. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Well, one thing I am going to revive in next year in 2023 will be TV Skywriter. I had been doing a standard real interview show on Sundays, and I kind of abandoned it because of COVID. But I think in 2023 I'm going to bring it back. And this is where I talk to people in real interview format from different worlds. I mean, you can be outside Durham. I've interviewed people from Afghanistan.
Wow.
Brazil. Yeah. Brazil, Kenya.
Wow.
Canada, England. So, yeah. So I do like to interview people from around the world. They don't have to necessarily be celebrities, although I'll accept those too. But yeah, I will be bringing that back, Ryan. And in fact, I want to invite you on the show so you can maybe with your co-host or client or whoever Antoinette is, I can come
Yes.
on too to promote
Yeah,
the
for
show.
sure. For sure. For sure.
Now,
I think
if
it
we
would be
want to
great.
follow you and what you're up to, do we type in digital stem cell?
Yeah, digital stem cells kind of what I've rebranded. So you just type in digital stem cell, you'll find me everywhere on social media, and then check my link tree, and then you can get access to some of the projects. Though I don't think I put Answer Friends on that. But either way, you can
Oh,
type up.
edit.
But I kept it separate because we're going to be launching our company pretty soon. So I want to do we're going to be doing a huge rollout. There's a lot of cool things happening with us, and I just want to. I'm definitely going to do a rollout and hopefully get the Blab community involved because there's just a lot of cool things.
Okay, you said
Mhm.
Linktree. Check out beacons.ai.
Beacon.
Beacons.ai is just like Linktree in that you can list all your different things. It's more visual. Linktree, it's just simple, just list.
Links.
But
Yeah.
but
Beacons.
but beacons.ai, you can list your shows and they can click and go directly to your website. And it's much better than Linktree. Also, with Beacons, they have a partnership with darn it, I can't think of the name of the company. Oh, here it is. Wait, it's upside down. Let me just show it to you real quick. I have this bracelet. So you put
Yep.
your phone to that logo, and it takes you to my beacons.ai website.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So they have a partnership with let me see if I can read it with my elderly eyes. Tap Tag. So Tap Tag has necklaces, bracelets, and different items that you can embed your beacons.ai link.
Hmm.
And so when people say, "Oh, can I have your business card?" You can say, "Well, just tap your phone to this." Boom.
Boom. And speaking of which, speaking of something you said elderly eyes. Every time I see
Well,
you, I look at you and I'm like, she doesn't age. Like you
sure I
don't.
do. I'm 60.
You
I'm
you
gonna
look.
be 67 in a couple of weeks.
No. Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Because you look 40. Like literally, I'm gonna be 40. I'm gonna be 40
You're
in one more
you're
year.
39.
39 today.
See, you look very young. I know everybody tells you that.
Yeah. Well, let,
Wow.
let me let me just say this, okay? So I'm single, so I'm going through my my Tinders and all this
Oh,
Bumbles and all this stuff,
okay.
and and I'm getting now I'm getting 40-year old, 41, 42, 43, and a lot of them that are 40 look like they're 65. You know what I mean? And here you are looking like you're 40. So it's like I
Oh,
don't know what's in your genes, but you look beautiful. You
well,
look
thank you so
healthy.
much. I'm guessing neither of us have ever smoked. 'Cause see, I don't smoke or drink. I bet you don't either.
I don't.
I think that's it. I think smoking makes you look older.
Yeah, and not
It makes
moisturizing your skin. And
Mhm.
I eat and I'm plant based. I'm healthy. I'm
Oh,
because I'm
okay.
talking about the Dr. Sebi diet. Dr. Sebi diet and herbs cured my asthma.
Well,
Like I cured my asthma.
I have a vague recognition of that name. Who is that? I
He
kind of recognize that name.
he was a Dr. Sebi was a healer that he claimed allegedly that he cured people from AIDS and from cancer and from herpes and things of that nature, right? And he went to he got arrested for making these claims, and then he went to Supreme Court, and
Gee.
he got out. He won the case. So I followed him because I didn't believe him. I'm like, how does this guy cure anything? I didn't believe him. I didn't believe
Mhm.
what he was saying about, eating plant-based diet and how it can cure this and that. And when I started doing research on my own and actually looking at these research articles and whatnot, I realized that there was some truth into the things that he was saying. So I just followed through with the diet, and
Wow.
I cured my asthma. I cured my peanut allergies. I cured, yeah,
Good.
yeah, peanut allergies. My allergies to outside. Um,
Mhm.
but my asthma, it was just a bunch of mucus that was in that lungs from since I was a baby, and
Okay.
all of it came out. I could
Wow.
breathe like
Just through
I
your
could never
diet.
do that before.
Really?
Yeah, I cured myself from asthma and just using Mother Nature's herbs. The thing about his thing was just to eat food that wasn't manipulated by man. Eat the food that our ancestors used to eat, on in Africa, the taking the
Mhm.
herbs that they used to take, and you will cure yourself of any disease.
Wow.
That was the theory. So I followed through with it, and I cured myself of asthma.
So what did you get, like a book or something, or YouTube videos, or?
Well, because I'm dyslexic, I don't read. I process information. So I took things, I looked for keywords, and I started using deduction and
Mhm.
deductive reasoning, and I started breaking things apart in my own
Mhm.
way as a dyslexic because our
Mhm.
brains are just wired differently, and was able to kind of sort out what he was saying because he said, for example, he's like
Mhm.
mucus is the cause of all disease. Now, the statement is not true, but what he was saying, if you look at the videos that he was saying, is that your mucous membranes, they're alkaline. So so when you're eating food, and if it's acidic, the
Mhm.
acid will change the viscosity of your mucus. The mucus is like your skin; it protects
Mhm.
your inner organs from getting infections and stuff like that. So if
Okay.
you're drinking things like coffee, eating meat and sugars, you lower the viscosity of your mucus and you expose the cells to viruses and to microbes and to other damaging things. So that's the
Wow.
premise. So once it gets in, you get sick. So I haven't been sick since I changed. I've been on this diet since 2017.
Okay. But that
Late.
doesn't mean only eating uncooked foods, though, does it?
No, you can eat cooked foods. It's just
Oh.
it's just eating foods that are not that are just natural and not man-made. It is essentially just eating what our
Hmm.
ancestors ate.
I'm gonna
So
look into that.
yeah. It's a lot.
Hmm. Thank
It
you.
changed my life. Like as soon as I was low on iron, anemic all my life.
Mhm.
Took this thing called CMOS, ate it, and it just went boom, like electrified me, and electrified like I don't drink coffee or anything like that.
Almost.
Every day I'm on it, and it makes my skin smooth. It's
All right.
I we went my son and I went to play basketball, and I fell down on my knee. I cut my knee.
Mhm.
I put the CMOS on my knee, and the thing
Mhm.
cured overnight. You know what I mean? And then
Wow.
the other thing too is like, sorry, I can fall on my knees, like, like I can do
Ooh.
that. Most
Mhm.
people can't do that because like the type of foods that we eat extracts the minerals from our bones to keep our body in homeostasis. Like when you're eating a lot of acidic
Dang.
foods,
Yeah.
your body got to rob the minerals from your bones, and that's why people get arthritis and these things in their
I'm gonna
hands.
look into that because, to tell you the truth, I don't know. I've been recently dealing with, I'm just now looking after my own health, learning how to cook, going to the doctor for the first time in years and years and years. Now that I'm on Social Security, I can afford it.
Yeah.
You probably have national health care in Canada,
Yes, we
probably. I'm
do.
jealous. But anyway,
I don't use
be
it, but
that as it may, this
you
is
can
why a
have
lot
mine.
of this is probably why a lot of people in the USA die too soon because they can't afford to look after their own health. So it's
Hmm.
not really that funny. But anyway, I'm just now discovering that I have high blood pressure. And it was at a very, very high The number was bad. I mean, I feel great listening to jazz. I'm very laid back, and I felt really discouraged when the doctor told me that. But she said sometimes it's just your family history, and it's just there. It's not even your fault, but you can control it. So I immediately changed my diet. So I'm just now getting hip to like looking for sodium and potassium and all that. But what you're talking about is a whole different thing. I never thought about alkaline versus acidic. I don't even know how to start. I'm gonna look for information and just see what that's all about.
Yeah, and just so that people know, I'm not advocating, because there is a group of people that are saying eat an alkaline diet and you change your body's pH. That is infactual. It's not. You're not changing. You're not eating an alkaline diet so you can change your blood's pH, because everything is regulated by the body, and your body is always constantly changing. Your body's always finding minerals to balance out the equation so that your body's in homeostasis. What the point is that you're eating alkaline foods, natural foods that are not filled with starch and stuff. Like I rarely eat potatoes. I rarely eat rice, those sort of things. And I'm eating a minerally rich diet. So what happens is that your mucus is your number one protector. If you compromise it, it's a good example of this is sugar. Okay, sugar is
one of my weaknesses, but I'm taking care of that. But go ahead.
I'm not attacking sugar, but if you look at sugar and if you make caramel, for example, that's your mucus. Like it's sticky, and mucus is made out of glucose, right? It's made out of sugars and stuff. That's what makes it really sticky. So
I didn't even know that, but go ahead.
if you pour lemon juice in the sugar or in the caramel, it becomes less viscous. It becomes
breaks
limey.
it up. Yeah,
it breaks it up. So that's what happens when you eat acidic foods. As soon as it hits your mucus will. It just becomes less viscous, and then it doesn't protect the cells. And then when you get that scratchiness in the back of your throat, when you know when you're going to get sick, it's because there's no mucus protecting that layer of tissue. So what to do to restore that so you don't get sick is eat ginger or take cayenne pepper, because the minerals in those two foods will go back and restore the mucus so that it doesn't get worse. Because the problem with the microbes, they'll make a biofilm in the back of your neck, and then it goes down into your lungs, and then you get sick. I haven't been sick for 5 years. Literally have not been in the hospital other than a tooth infection, but I even cured that with herbs. I have not been sick for 5 years.
Thank you so much, Ryan. I'm going to look into that. Yeah. And it's interesting how the body works, because I was given medication because my numbers had to be lowered fast, or else I was going to stroke out, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
same thing that happened to me, by the way.
Oh,
that's why I changed my diet, because I changed my diet because I had high cholesterol, and I had high blood pressure. And the doctor, around that time I met you guys, the doctor was like, "Yo, you need to do something real quick, otherwise you're gonna get a heart attack." So that's why I switched.
Okay, so my lower number. Oh, that's fine. I mean, that's great information. Now, my lower number, which is heart rate, is good, but the upper number, which is the blood pressure itself, was really abnormally high. And so I changed my diet immediately, went through my cabinets, threw everything out. That was bad. One thing I didn't do, and it's interesting how the body works. One of the medications that I was given is a diuretic, because they said that sodium clings to, anyway, you get extra water in your body because of sodium. So the diuretic makes you, makes you use the washroom more to flush the water out and takes the sodium out. The only thing I didn't change, I forgot to drink water. And my doctor yesterday said, you've got to drink water, because if you're giving you a diuretic and you're taking it faithfully,
Mm-hmm.
Then if it can't find water to excrete, it will grab potassium.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, she says, you can't have a diuretic and not have anything for it to collect, to flush out. So I made a promise that I was going to, at the top of the hour, drink some water.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
starting today, yes, I will be drinking more at the top of the hour, just like with the radio station ID. Top of the hour, I will be throwing back some
Drink some
water.
more water. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And same thing with the herbs. The herbs every day I take them, but the herbs you need to drink like about a gallon of water because they're all diuretics. But that's how disease gets out of the body. You know, it's like there's a flow, but you have to eat. You got to eat more fruits, and then you got to take the herbs, and you got to just bring the fibers. So everything works in tandem with each other, and it's more of a harmonious approach to life. But but water is the most important thing.
Yeah, I will do that. And actually my granddad he was probably maybe one of the first health food people. I mean, he started in the 1920s.
Wow.
Yeah, and he taught us everything that I just really just need to adhere to what he taught me when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
just need to get back to that, you know. He lived to be 103.
Wow.
And another thing they told me to walk more. Granddad used to walk every day. He would walk all the way downtown. He would walk everywhere.
Wow.
So that's another thing I need to do. Because granddad, he knew all about that stuff. And
Oh
he
yeah.
taught us. It's just that not all of us listened.
But you look great though, and that's I think the most important thing is that you're in good spirits. Your energy
Oh, thank you.
is great, and you're continuing to do the things that make you happy, and that's also stuff that contributes to great health.
I
So
really think, I mean, I haven't read it in too many places, but I really do think happiness and joy is very important.
yeah.
Because I love YouTube videos, but one thing I do, this is instinctual. I don't know if this is true. It's just instinctual. The first video that I watch on YouTube, and I do watch YouTube videos all day while I'm working on my computer, I refuse to watch anything negative first thing, or political, which can
Yeah.
be negative.
Yeah.
I make sure that the first video I watch has something to do with an actual interest. Right now, my interests are jazz composition and also recipes and also fixing up your house.
Hmm.
Because I am cleaning my house and getting everything straight, making it beautiful again.
Yeah.
Make my crib beautiful again, or make my crib great again. There you go. So that's the kind of videos that I watch starting. I will eventually be drawn to the political because that's my interest too. But I refuse to watch anything negative first out because I don't want my spirit or my brain to focus on anything negative starting out.
Yes.
You know what? It should always be positive. It should be either about family, house cleaning, recipes, health, something positive.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because
Yes.
to me, your mindset, I think, is very important.
Yes. I agree with
So,
you.
yeah.
100%.
I'm so glad you came on this show, and I'm so glad that I've learned about your new digital stem cell personality. So we're all going to follow you. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
find
And
you on Facebook. And where do you on Facebook and Twitter? And
on Facebook, yeah, the digital stem cell is my personal Facebook, but that has 60,000 followers. I don't know where that came from,
sweet.
but I'm gonna soak it in, especially for the day
Okay.
of the birthday when you get all these messages and stuff.
Okay.
But you can find me there. You can find me on Instagram, and and I would love to be on people's shows to talk about neurodiversity. I would love,
Okay.
anyone that's interested in learning more about that. I want to advocate it, especially for those in the Black communities, because I think it's
Mhm.
important that we start to normalize being different, and and
Absolutely.
realizing that the difference is the balance. and the difference
Difference,
provides value.
difference and diversity. I can't imagine life without it.
Yeah.
Serious. I mean, why should we all be the same anyway?
Yeah.
And I learned that when I was a kid, when they would always say, news outlets would say, Americans have been polled and they feel this and that. And I'm like, obviously they didn't talk to anybody like me, because I feel the exact opposite.
They never talk to nobody. It's like, I don't know where they get these samples from, but you find out like all these statistics. They use these probabilities and they use these equations, but they never equate people of color, or they don't equate the average day person. Because I'm like, that's why I don't take a lot of these statistical reports seriously, because
Yeah.
how many people did you talk to? Just 100?
Just you and your friends, or your mom.
Why?
Hey,
Why?
hey, Mom, what do you think about this? And then you write it down and think, oh, all Americans feel this way. Women over 40 feel this way. It's like,
yeah.
no, they don't.
No, they don't.
Well, I'm going to get on about my day. And it is only 11 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love that. When I spoke to someone in Afghanistan, this was in Kenya. I had to interview them at like 5 a.m. because let's see, when it's 5 here, I think it was like 10 a.m. for them or something like that. And I was like, I mean, the world is so huge. It just tickles me that people are on different time zones. It's fascinating to me how that happens.
Yeah,
So,
and it's fascinating that you people, like, it's fascinating that strangers know more about you than the people that are around you. Half the things that you know about me, some of my family doesn't even know. It's like,
wow.
that's how beautiful this connection is. It's that we're all connecting like the Jetsons. Do you ever watch the Jetsons and just be like, because I remember just watching the Jetsons and be like, I wish I could be able to just talk to somebody on the screen.
And now you can. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Ryan. Come back anytime. It's a joy talking with you, and I'm really glad. So you got the notification? Is that how you found the show?
Well, I follow you on Facebook. I just
nice. I appreciate that. I really do.
I always get mad because I'm like, I missed it, because just the timing of it. But I was like, I'm not missing it today, so I wanted to come on and spread some love.
Awesome. Do you ever do any on location live streaming? Because that's another thing I'm going to commit now that I'm more comfortable leaving the house. I still wear my mask, but I made a plan that in 2023 I will get back out with on location live streaming. How about you?
Not. We're just getting we're just putting our show together for the second season, trying to get more guests and even get some funding to help us film for the next year. So we do have an idea of going out there and doing some on location stuff, but we're just kind of playing it by ear and kind of putting a lot of focus on some of these interviews that are coming up. But I would love to be out there, I would love to ask people, and I love to do a lot of things, but I think you know me by now. I get the ADHD in me. I'm always like,
see, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that since people love the personal tours that people give, like they'll be in their country or city or whatever, showing you the statues and the castles and the wheat fields or whatever. And while they're showing off their surroundings, they're also talking about what they're up to and promoting their shows.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a wonderful way, since you're such, you have a great personality. You're language is beautiful, and I just think people just love hearing you talk. And then you could promote your upcoming show.
Oh yeah.
Well, 'cause I've never seen. I mean, I read that Alberta is the breadbasket of Canada. I've never seen it. I've as big a city as Calgary is. I've never seen it. I have
Mm-hmm.
no idea what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it, and I
Yeah,
think
well, I'll do that.
people
I'm
would
going to
enjoy
go
that.
live. I'll go live and I'll invite you. Maybe we could chat.
That would be
It,
great. I have no. If people sometimes I recognize, like they'll show a city line, I'll say, "Oh, that's Seattle," or "Oh, that's Paris." I have no idea what Calgary looks. Nothing. I have no clue.
oh yeah. Well,
So
we're
I.
small compared to everything else too, and we're big. We're like I think over 1 million, but
Mhm.
we're still like people think when they think of Canada, they think Toronto is Canada. You know what I mean? Like they think it's just another
I'll bet
state.
Calgary is like Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina, until recently was considered kind of a smallish town, but it seems that all the banks and a lot of big businesses have converged there. A lot of money has been attracted to Charlotte, where it's now a big city, although people who are in Charlotte still say it's really a bunch of little towns that have become a big city. It's big enough that they have a stadium because they do have Charlotte Hornets basketball, NBA, and
Yeah.
uh, what's the football team? Anyway, there's an NFL football team or something. I don't know, but anyway, so it's big enough to have a couple of major league sports teams. I'm
Hmm.
obviously
Yeah.
too
We don't
ignorant
even
to name
have.
them all.
I think we got a new basketball team just recently, but yeah, like Calgary
Okay.
it's a nice place, and I think you would enjoy it. I think you would if you came here. You would enjoy it
Hmm.
just because of your personality. Because there's a lot of people like yourself, here.
Interesting. Are there a
Mhm.
lot of immigrants?
Yeah, it's a majority. Well, there are more immigrants in the eastern side of Canada
Hmm.
um, here, but it is diverse. But it's there the this place is also known um, for we're hick town, they say, because we have a rodeo. We have the biggest rodeo in the world. Um,
See, I didn't even know that.
yeah, it's Calgary Stampede. We do biggest rodeo, biggest grand stadium show. It's all farming, and we're very hick. And some people say that we're racist here, and I would agree with them. There's a lot of racism here, and
Is
uh,
that only because they haven't seen? I mean, are you one of the few black people, or are there a lot of black people?
few. There's like
Because sometimes the people are almost innocently racist, and I know it sounds stupid, but I mean like more ignorant than hateful, because
yeah.
they just assume that black folks, since maybe they don't see black folks, they only see them in the videos. And of course, we have a horrible representation in media.
Yeah, well, Alberta has historical ties to the South, um, because people who fled and lost in the Civil War, they moved to Alberta.
Oh, the
So
farmland of okay, that makes sense.
yeah, so they moved,
Okay.
and so you can't there's certain parts you can't go here, and and there are KKK establishments in certain parts from what I hear, but there
Are
is a long history of
are you
racism.
telling me that there's even like Confederate flags?
Confederate flags, yes, people driving around with Confederate flags.
You just taught me so much during this quick visit until my head is spinning. I had no idea.
Yeah, people outwardly, like this is not the place if you're trying to build, like when you're coming here, don't you're not. There's great things about Alberta, and there's a lot of business and a lot of activity in that regard, but a lot of racism and a lot of people that are so because we're an oil country, there's a lot of
Hmm.
money here. People don't even need to worry about Black history and this and that. It's
Sure,
not even
sure.
a concern.
Yeah.
So, people are just right up there. So I even had a conversation the other day with somebody, and I'm like, bruh, you're not educated on this. Well, how you're racist? You telling a white guy that he doesn't know about racism in the black community? I'm like, yeah, you don't know. And that's just the reality. It's just like people are so far gone here. We are like Alberta is its own world.
Wow.
And in the grand scheme of Canada, we are so different from the rest of the Canadians. Just our politics and what we've been conservative for probably 40 years. Voted conservative. We had the Liberal government once in the last 40 years, and we've been very conservative. So yeah, it's different out here. But you know what? The other thing too is that, like, if you make your money, you're good. You don't got to worry about.
Yeah, that's true everywhere.
You could just
That's
turn
true
it
just
off,
about
right?
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I do hope that you definitely sounds like you're on your way to gaining your success.
Well,
So,
the success is being able to come on here and to talk with you. I think the
oh, thank
success
you. Wow.
is that's, I think, where I find value is it's not about being seen and being heard.
Mhm.
I think it's about connecting with those people that that make you happy. That's
Thank you.
true.
Wow.
That's true wealth, and that's where true happiness lies. And that's what I've learned over the years is that I always put my business aside and things aside just to have a good conversation with people that I can learn from and grow from, and so that's where the success for me is.
Wonderful.
This community.
Wow. Wonderful. And like I said, since 2016, there are so many people that we met through Blab that we still keep up with and that we
Yes.
still feel really close to, even though we've never met in person. It's really amazing how you can make these friendships and probably not ever meet the person in person. I mean, I hope to eventually meet you and other folks that I've met, like a guy, R. Cook, and Eileen, and
Yeah.
all these different people. I'd love to meet you all in person, but maybe we never will. But it's just great to have these wonderful conversations
Oh,
online.
100%.
Absolutely. So I'm going to get my day more or less back in gear. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us on Bull City Hangout. And I will see you one day real soon. Just drop by anytime you like to
Okay,
promote
so
maybe like when you have an upcoming show, then definitely come by and tell us who your guest will be. And I will help you promote that.
sounds good. Talk to you later.
Okay. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. That was wonderful. Wow. An old friend dropping by. You can drop by as well. I do Bull City Hangout weekdays at noon, Saturdays at 10 a.m. And with that, have a beautiful day. As I said, it's going up to 64. It looks like rain, but it's not in the forecast. In fact, let me check the latest weather forecast and see if it has indeed changed. Let me click on it again and see if it's changed. So it looks like it's going to be sunny later on. I don't see how, but it says it's going to be sunny later on, going up to 64. It's going to be sunny tomorrow with the high of only 49. Now, Friday is going to be 54. Saturday, 62, which is more like it because I will be DJing as DJ Pitty Pat at 5 Points downtown on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to seeing that and hoping that the 50% chance of rain goes away. So with that, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon for Bull City Hangout. Ciao for now.